guys, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as promised, I'm going to do a mixed media project and we're going to go mini. We're going to go tiny little mixed media projects that you can frame, give as a gift, and people can put them on their desks. They would be great. Now, these two frames were the inspiration that I had, and I think that they're going to work just fine. Now, some other things that you can use for this project would be samples of flooring. These are from like Home Depot, and they're really heavy duty. And these were samples of flooring that we did in our bathroom, and I kept them because I thought that they would make some pretty cool mixed media projects. And you could put some magnets on the back and you could stick them on fridge, so they would be very fun gifts also. So I'm going to do a couple of those also to show you that. Some other things to think about are your rubber stamp mounts. Now, this rubber stamp was on here. I took it off because I like to have the flexibility of using those without the wood. Now, this rubber stamp, the wood portion, don't throw that away. That would be a great mixed media project. You could just do some inspirational words, and then these could sit just on a windowsill in someone's craft room, or anything of that nature. I kept a big one also. It's still just a little bit sticky, but I can show you what I did with one of those. Here is one, for instance. This was on a exact same thing, mounted rubber stamp, and I peeled that away. I believe this is the stamp, and I used that as my base for my mixed media, my substrate, if you would. So you could use those things. Another couple of things, set this aside. Just your scraps of your MDF board. So I have a few of these. This one had a little bit of a sign on it, but it peeled off, so I'm going to use that. It's just a piece of wood. So MDF, piece of wood, something like that. I got out some collage pieces that I'm going to use for the background. And now this one here was from a rummage sale. Now, this is a perfect substrate for a smaller mixed media project. So look around your craft room, look at those rummage sales, yard sales, things of that nature, and see what you can come up with. This already has a hanger on it, so I thought that would be quite fun. And I'm just looking to do some of these things to give out as gifts. So I'm going to leave you at that. I'm going to work on these smaller ones. I'm going to work on this one and probably one of these, and possibly get something going on here. But I'll show you pictures at the end of the finished projects, of course. This one I have a video on, I believe, and I will link it up above if you want to check that one out. So I probably wouldn't need to do this one then, just to keep the video a bit shorter. We'll do one of these then with some magnets on. So my first step working with this one was to get some heavy duty cardboard, and I took my frame apart. Obviously we're not going to use the glass, but don't get rid of it. You'll find a use for it. And then I took this piece of paper out and I marked where I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to cut this down with my paper so then I have the substrate that will fit in perfectly of my frame, because we don't want to do all the work and then have to cut it in the end. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to work at putting down my collage papers to these backgrounds. And when I get ready to do focal points and some of the finishing touches, I will come back and we will work on that together, okay? So follow along with the music, and I'll work on this together, and we'll catch up in a few minutes. So enjoy. Thanks for stopping. Okay, I'm back, and my pieces are dry, and now I just picked out a bunch of stuff from my stash, and I wanted to show you what I picked out, and then I'm going to do each one individually so it doesn't get too confusing. So here I picked out a metal embellishment that says Friends, and I'm thinking about coloring that with some alcohol ink. We'll see what happens with that. We'll set it aside. I found two butterflies that need to be cut out a little bit better. One's a pink one, one's a blue one. Set that aside. I grabbed out some coffee dyed cheesecloth because I like to have texture, and I have an old tea bag here because that'll add some cool texture. And I also have some cardboard scraps here, again, for texture. Another thing for sentiment that I grabbed out is this create the things you wish existed. Now, that would be really cool in the background, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use the word create or the word wish or what's going to happen with this, but that was talking to me. I also have this little piece of cutout from a magazine that says I love. I pulled this out. It says, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. So I'm going to have all this stuff. And then I pulled out some colors of ink here, spray ink. I've got Distress Oxide in 3 colors, Peeled Paint, Vintage Photo, and Broken China. I have 2 gloss sprays from Dina Wakley, and I got Lemon and Cheddar. And I also have 1 distress spray that is Speckled Egg. We'll work with those in a bit. And as I was digging around, I came about all of these papers here in a bundle that's going to be a project down the road that all match. It made me think of a bee. So I dug out a piece of pattern paper that had a great bee on it, and I definitely want to use that. So I'm going to cut that out. I'm not going to use these papers that I know of, but I'm going to set that aside. And I've got quite a mess going on here. Oh, one more thing that I did dig out, and I thought about this last night when I was supposed to be sleeping. I have pressed some ferns, and I thought that might be really cool on one of these. And here I have some pressed flowers. So let's see how we can work these elements in. And first I'm going to go around all of them with this emery board. And I just like to do that to get my scraps off the edge here. And then you can really see what we're going to be working with. And like I said, I'm going to do one at a time here. So here's my background for the one, and this was the sample of the wood floor. You would never know that. This one here was that scrap of wood that I had just laying around. And when I finish these, I'm going to have 3 really nice little gifties, and I really like to give gifts. I don't know if you're like me, but I always like to give a little gift. You know, I've got a couple of things coming up for dinner parties. We're going to someone's house for an appetizer party. We haven't been to her house in a couple of years, so I know that she will appreciate something like this. And what I do is I just stick it in my purse, and then when we're at their house, I'll just set it somewhere and see how long it takes that person to discover it. So it's kind of fun to do that. I'm just going to Swiffer all of this into my garbage here to give us a clean table. And of course, you know me, if you watch my channel, we're going to need to push these backgrounds to the back using a bit of gesso. So I'm just going to put some music on. We're going to gesso these how I feel fit, and then I'm going to just let you watch while I create instead of chatting away. That way we can keep this video quite quick. Okay, I'll be back.
All right. What did you think? I'm really liking how they turned out. Here's all three. Get you a little bit closer. Aren't they adorable? I absolutely love them. Love how they turned out. I'm just going to add a little bit of white gesso to the tops and ridges of some things here. Just using a dry brush and a little bit of gesso. Putting a little tiny bit on the leaves, just anywhere that you think it needs a little bit of highlight on those pieces. I'm super happy how they turned out. Leave a comment below if you like them. It was fun to do tiny. I was a little bit apprehensive at first, and as soon as I started going, it was piece of cake. I'm going to leave the pictures below at the end. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't to my channel. Leave comments. I absolutely love to have comments and chat back and forth with you. So thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will talk back to you on next Thursday. And I think, and since we did something mini this time, we're going to go something big next Thursday. So let me know what you think. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye now.